Hi everyone, I'm Mirella Ciobanu, lead editor with The Papers, and we are live at EIC 2026, where I'm about to speak with John Erik Setsaas, independent identity and fraud expert, and we are going to talk about the European Digital Identity Wallet in financial services. And, John Erik, so happy to meet you again for, I don't know, this, what time is it?
I don't know. This is my 12th EIC. I was not here last year, so it's 2 years since we met last time. But it's great to be here again, and thanks for having me.
Yeah. And it's great to speak again. And when we last spoke, we discussed topics such as the European Digital Identity Wallet and its implications for privacy and security. Also, we talked about evolving fraud threats, also balancing instant payments with GDPR, cybersecurity, and the use of AI. Looking back, how things have changed, evolved, how is this space looking now?
Well, we are getting closer. I mean, in theory, the wallet shall be available by the end of this year.
Okay.
But I guess I've already heard some countries will not make that deadline. Because it's challenging and it's still a moving target. There are so many pieces that needs to fit in to make this wallet happen. And not the least, how to get people to use it, which is, by the way, the topic of my talk later today. How to make it attractive. Why should people care about the wallet? So that's one aspect. You mentioned AI, which is, a big focus on this conference. So, which is very important. I mean, it's exploded. And AIs need identity as well. Will an AI have an identity wallet themselves? Well, there's some challenges around that. At least they need an identity. And we haven't really solved how to do that even.
Yeah. And since you mentioned that there is a lot of discussion and pieces to be put together, what are some signals that you have been picking up from this conference regarding this? And you also mentioned people skeptical. Why they are skeptical that by the end of 2026 we won't have a viable solution?
So, I mean, like I said, there's so many pieces that need to fall in place still. And of course, we do have wallets. There will be countries that are ready with a wallet. But then what about adoption? Will you have people start using it? What are the use cases? To have a useful wallet, you need to have data in it. And of course, the issued wallet will have the basic identity data from the government, obviously. And I guess government data will appear in the wallet. But what about private actors? For example, a bank. Why should a bank share their information and put it into the wallet? What are their incentives? Do they see that as a risk? What if somebody uses that data? Are they liable? There are a lot of questions around this that are not really answered yet. Yeah.
Before going to why should people care, why should the bank want to adopt it?
Why should the bank care? Well, they have to, right? It says, there are...
Well, there's some benefits for them, to convince them.
Exactly. So, I mean, for one, they have to. And of course, the minimum will be to have to use it for login. But the benefits will be that they will potentially receive validated information during onboarding. So if a customer comes to the bank will then receive validated information about that customer. That will speed up their process, that will save them money to do that. And I think especially for business customers, I think that's probably one of the good use cases where a business customer comes to a bank, maybe in a different country. They have all the paperwork done already, stored as verifiable claims within the wallet. They can present that to the bank, and it will then be much simpler for the bank to onboard that business customer. So I think that would be one really interesting case. Things like credit score could be interesting if you put out a loan. The challenge again, who is willing to put the credit score into the wallet, because this is like a paid service. Like the credit score companies, they charge every time somebody asks for my credit score. So why would they put it into the wallet unless we can develop sort of a business model around that? And that I haven't seen that yet.
Okay. But now, returning to your presentation today, European Digital Identity Wallet, what should people care? What are the main arguments that you plan to bring on stage?
So one challenge is the different cultures around Europe. I mean,
but first, do people care? I mean,
do people care? Well, I mean, sometimes I talk to normal people, and it's quite interesting. I mean, we
consumers.
We are a lot of nerds in this area, and we think the identity wallet, it's the greatest thing ever. We're so enthusiastic about it. It's so great, and it is, right? But you try to explain this to normal people, and they are like, hey, I have a wallet on my Apple or Google phone already. So, it's difficult to explain what this is about. Then you meet the skepticism. Oh, it's issued by the government. We don't trust the government. They're going to track us, etc. But they're happy to use the Google Wallet, where we know they track them. So it's an interesting, duality on that. Skeptical to the government, but share everything with Google. So, and then the different cultures in Europe, the different maturities. I'll be showing some information from the EIDIS project at University of Milan that has done some research on this and show how ready different countries are to adapt the wallet. And it varies a lot. And that also means you need different messaging to explain this to people, what it's about, and get people to use it.
Since you mentioned the study, and this interview is going to appear after EIC, maybe you can share some interesting statistics, data, findings.
Yeah. So, one interesting, we are in Germany, and Germany is not very ready from their research on that. They look at the usage of EIDs on one side. How often do people use EIDs? And it's not very high here in Germany. And then how ready are you to adopt the wallet? And it's very low here in Germany. While Italy, for example, is much higher on that score. They only did a few countries, but that's some of the data. And I guess a lot of skepticism again in Germany towards this, about the government, about surveillance and so on, is part of the answer to that.
Yeah. And we talked a bit about financial institutions and the use cases, and most of them relied around this the business cases, so the KYB or the digital wallet for businesses. But now returning to end consumers, what other solutions besides you mentioned credit scoring? What others can be developed so they can attract consumers?
I think we need to make use cases that makes life simple, that are attractive, maybe even fun for users. We need to, what I'm touching on also in my presentation, why are people adopting new technologies? And there are a number of reasons for that. If it's fun, you're fear of missing out, you have to use it to get your services, it gives you some benefits, it replaces something you do already, but in a better way.
Yeah.
I was at an EIDIS conference in Norway, and there they showed a use case for teenagers buying these energy drinks. There's an age limit in Norway. You have to be 16 to buy the energy drinks. Mm-hmm. And they showed now a wallet usage of that. So they had a teenager go to the shop, they scanned their wallet, and a picture of that person came up with a check mark. So that makes it very simple. If that could be combined with payment, you would have a really seamless experience on that.
Yeah.
Another example I bring up, most of the people here travel and come and check into the hotel.
Yeah.
And the process of checking into a hotel, it looks like you're applying for immigration, right? You have to go through why does it take so long to do that? You're sharing information about your payment, your frequent flyer card, your address, your company name, and all this. You're receiving maybe some vouchers, your key card, all this. This could be one operation, right? Yeah. You could use the wallet to share all the information. And identity, of course, you need to show your identity to the hotel because they're obliged to do that. This could be one operation. I blip my wallet to the hotel reception, and they get the information I need. And in back, I get the key to the exercise room and the vouchers and everything back. That would be a great simplification, benefit for all of us, and a lot of benefit for the hotel with check-in. They would save so much time.
Yeah, so we talked a lot about use cases, benefits, and I was thinking also about this idea of the hotel, because I remember once I was booked via another agency and they couldn't find me in the whole list, and it was a very long process that I got in. And I was thinking, okay, I might have this wallet and I might have the booking provided by the agency, so it needs some steps and some third parties. So lots of chain reactions. But usually for this one to be flawless, we need security. if we think about, taking aside the use cases, digital identity compliance, if we think about the risk and the security, what are some things that we should pay attention to?
So I'm concerned that criminals are going to love the wallet.
Okay.
A lot of money laundering today takes place with physical money, cash, because it's untraceable. By definition, the identity wallet, you're not allowed to profile, you're not allowed to trace movements, etc. Which means I can transfer value from my wallet to your wallet and nobody will know about it. So we're actually moving the physical cash, physical assets into the digital world. That's one aspect. The other is fraud. Today, more and more countries have, if I'm being tricked, you trick me by a deepfake or something to pay you money.
Yeah.
And the bank will have liability in that case. The rules are changing on that, so more and more banks are coming that way. What now if you trick me and you trick me to send value directly from my wallet to your wallet?
And again, like in the first case, it's difficult to track.
Right? You won't know that it even happened, and I'm going to complain, oh, I was tricked, and yeah, you don't get anywhere. So I'm concerned about, how easy it makes. Of course, I agree with the privacy concerns. I agree we shouldn't be tracked. We don't want our data to be sold to third parties for advertising and nurturing and all that. I agree. The problem is that we are giving the criminals a really, really good tool to help them.
So how can we, fight it?
How can we fight it? I mean, this is the balance between, transparency and privacy.
Okay.
And I mean, we in Europe now, we're leaning very much toward, GDPR is also been the criminal's best friend. GDPR prevents banks from sharing information between them, which would be very helpful in catching criminals. And yes, as said, I agree we need privacy, but we need to find, I think, a better balance, because not all people are good. Or bad people are criminals. And how do we balance the privacy and the transparency in a good way? And this is a difficult legal question.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer.
But I don't know, are there now some good examples of financial institutions or countries that have achieved this or trialed this balance between privacy and transparency?
Not that I've seen. I think currently we are in the phase where banks say, well, everybody says, we need to share information with financial institutions. And then everybody says, but no, we need to be careful because we want compliance with GDPR. So they're not sharing after all. And that's what we're seeing there. Maybe there's some challenges against that now that, they're starting to do more. And I was at the conference last year with a Norwegian privacy, the privacy agency for the government. And they said, there is more room for movement here. Let's discuss how we can do this in a better way.
Yeah.
Right? But then the wallet, of course, it's not there yet. We haven't seen the effects, but I'm afraid, both for money laundering cases and for fraud cases, this is going to be there's going to be some interesting cases around this.
Yeah. But now let's imagine that we are in 2030 and the bank is reflecting on how they approach the European digital identity wallet transition. What decisions would they be proud of, and what mistakes might they regret?
It's a crystal ball question, right? Yeah, I think I'm a technical optimist. I think in a few years we're going to have a very good wallet. We're going to have good use cases. We're going to have good use cases we don't even see right now because we haven't thought of them. I think when we get more people understanding this, we'll get new use cases. And I think the banks are going to regret missing out on that, the ones that did not do that. And again, the banks that found those good use cases, I wish I could have some on my list, but finding a really good use case, I mentioned onboarding, but that's, it's boring stuff, it's not that makes the headlines. Oh, we did a faster onboarding. But any bank that would come up, wow, let's do this with a wallet. That's really going to change the way we do, change our processes, make us more efficient. They're going to be really proud of that. But then you need to be upfront on this, to be part of what's happening now.
But I think even if it's not that exciting, the digital onboarding part for the banks, the fact that they may save some costs with all these processes. It might be more, automated. I think it's a good incentive for them to start. Yeah,
it's definitely, I mean, both savings, but also hopefully then more confidence in the data, the confidence in that you have done a good process in the KYC case. That you really know that it is the right person, you have the right data, it's not a PEP, and it's not on sanction list, etc.
Yeah. And since, it's more than half of the EIC happening so far, what are your takes from the event?
From the event, as usual, I will quote somebody else that said, even though you're here, it's a fear of missing out, because there's so many parallel tracks. Many of them. So, as usual, so many good presentations, very good keynotes. I think one interesting, it's a very much focused on AI agents. We talk about identity for AI agents, which is completely new, Pandora's box we're opening right there. Some maybe, the wallet ideas that comes somewhat in the shadow of the AI. I'm not saying AI is important, it's here, it's really changing our lives. I mean, I use it myself almost every day as well. And, but, that's interesting, but also the, all perspectives on the wallets, on the business cases, how we're going to use it, and of course all the discussion I have with people around these topics.
Actually, I was thinking, could be a topic for next year to see how we get AI agents into the European Digital Identity Wallet, because so far the pattern of development was based on what we used to have without thinking about these agents. And
exactly.
The customers are becoming more sophisticated. So
and I mean the challenge with identity on an AI, what are we identifying? Well, it's an instance of a software that's moving based on data that's moving. I mentioned to someone, it's like, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, that little dwarf trying to get the soap. I think with that, I mean, it's a human is easy to identify. We have the IoT, a thing, a car, whatnot. It's a physical. But this is it's difficult to define what we are identifying.
The agent is more active than a car or static.
It's more active and it's moving and it's changing all the time. And 6 months down the line, you want to go back and see, okay, which instance of and version and data set of this agent was used to produce this result? Because that's what the auditor is going to ask. And I think this is what everybody's asking right now too. How do we identify this? But so I mean, that will be it for next year. And also, I mean, hopefully the wallet is in production. We can just talk about real use cases that's in production, and that's going to be exciting.
Great. So we have the theme for next year. So stay tuned for our next episode.
Right. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.